Hello, 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 my friends. I'm so delighted to be with you today. This is Lorelei Fenton, your roving Ancient Awakenings reporter. And I'm also a transformational personal growth coach and master. And what that really kind of means is get rid of your programming really quick. So I want to backtrack a bit to catch you up on some April channelings that were really important before I started doing this. And I want to catch you up to speed today on the channeling dated April 8th, 2018, which is my birthday, by the way. It's one of them. I have two, but that's a long story. In this channeling, we heard from Sananda, who is one of the regulars who visits us from the higher dimension. Many of you also know that Sananda is the higher self of Yeshua, or Jesus, as he's called in the Bible. So we all have a higher self, as many of you do know, and that higher self is very close to the prime creator source, or what's sometimes called all that is. And he or she, that higher self, may have put down a variety of selves here on this earth through the ages, or aspects as they're called. So Sanat Sananda, as he is titled, is responsible, along with Sanat Kumara, for the progress of this planet into the higher dimensions. And they have both been with us for the long haul. And this has all been confirmed many times over the course of our listening to the various channelings and being channeled. So we heard from one who serves, who is our resident. We also heard, in addition to Sananda, from one who serves, who is our resident sort of MC. And he's the one that answers our questions. And one who serves is really a group of ascended masters who prefer to remain anonymous. And there's more on one who serves in the news that's dated April 2nd. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes here of this really wonderful channeling on April 8th. Or for many of us who are vegetarians these days, we'll get to the beans and the rice of it. So from Sananda, our friends and family from the higher vibrations are here to mentor us, just as we're here to mentor others when the time comes. We are this consciousness shift. Not that we're a part of it or experiencing it, but we are it. And we've been anchoring the light, and we are anchoring it more and more. And how do you think we're doing that? Just by being who we are. How cool is that? By being in a room or a building or near where people are, we're actually anchoring the light. And we're also allowing our mentors to be there too, our ascended master mentors and the angels and whatever, because wherever we are, they are. Now, did you know how powerful you were just by being alive and by being who you are? Isn't that so great? It's great, by the way, to sit and talk to people about this, but we don't have to in order to anchor the light. We just have to be. And I'm so happy because I can stop working so hard and relax a little bit. How about you? I mean, I've been working. We are the emissaries. We are the messengers, and we are the way showers. Like John the Baptist, we're sharing the message of Christ, or the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness. And that Christ consciousness is actually within us. How about that? And we've been told in the past, by the way, that the term Christ does not mean an individual or the individual Jesus alone, but rather it's a title of an attainment of a certain level and kind of consciousness. So Christ does not mean or stand for what traditional religion says it does. And my guess is it's more along the lines of what Jesus taught, or how he was being, or how he showed up in the world, such as unconditional love, neutrality, non-judgment, truth, kindness, compassion, knowing his own divinity, knowing his higher self. So we've got it. Yeah, baby, we've got it. We're from Venus. We're from higher light and fire. So we've got that Christ consciousness, and we're anchoring the light. So then we had one who serves come on, and he said we may not see it, But we're doing wonderfully in this program that we're in. Yes, we are. And because we're doing wonderfully, things are changing, and they're going to change more and more rapidly. Of course, some of us are waiting. So one who serves says, don't wait. Create what you want now, because that's how it works. We create what we want now, and that, creating it, has it happen. So no more waiting for the prosperity funds or the right relationship or the event. Go create what you want. And we are manifesting things now, and what we visualize or desire is occurring more and more quickly. And we should notice that. And I know certainly I see that. How about you guys out there? Do you see that? So if we're healing from a disease or a sickness, for instance, then create the healing. Because a disease or sickness only means that we're out of balance. We need to get out of the old programming that tells us we can't, that tells us we need all these drugs and a doctor, and heal ourselves. And as we get out of the programming, we will see these issues clear up. By the way, I will add that there are tons and tons of resources for this kind of deprogramming and reprogramming of the mind, so to speak. And it's what I've been doing for myself and others for the past 17 years. It's 100% doable, no matter what you've been through in this life. And I want to really emphasize that. I know, because my experiences were pretty extreme. So it is doable, no matter what. So light warriors, it's time for us all to get out there and deprogram and reprogram. So we no longer believe it's even possible to be sick or poverty-stricken or in an unhappy, miserable relationship. Come on, let's go change that. Woo! Oh my goodness. We had some great answers to questions that day. For instance, are you guys hearing noises out there? Well, check this out. The sounds we may hear, metallic sounds, grinding sounds, construction-like sounds, they can come from many different things. We may be hearing the ships actually coming around, right? These spaceships. We may be hearing underground spaces if we're in a particular area, as those underground kind of not so nice spaces get cleared out. We may actually be hearing the very sound of Mother Earth or Lady Gaia as she clears herself out. These are, by the way, sounds that we could not hear in the past because our vibration was not high enough to hear them. So now we start to hear the very sound of Mother Earth herself as she makes her ascension process, or helps us in our ascension process, because we hear she is ascended. So how cool is that? Now here's a hot one. Neil Armstrong, sorry to tell you, was not the first landing on the moon. There had been many others before in the secret space program. And there are now literal bases on the dark side of that moon. There are bases on Mars and on the moons of Saturn and so on and so forth. Now, some of them are not human bases. They come from different civilizations, and they've been there and here for a really, really long time, like maybe eons ago. So let me ask you this. Here's another thing. Are you sick and tired of reincarnating here on Earth? Yes, I know I am. Well, here's some good news. After we ascend, we never have to reincarnate again. Woo! How cool is that? The universe is all ours. We can travel anywhere, do anything. We're free from this earth-based cycle of reincarnation, and we are able to only come back here if we choose to come back here. How great is that? Now, there was a minor concern about a 400,000-mile hole in the sun's atmosphere that's spewing large amounts of energy at the Earth. Just a little bit of a concern. Well, no need to worry there. We're told it's all part of the plan. The energy is being doled out, so to speak, in amounts that won't hurt us. but that will allow us to ascend peacefully. And also, have you been worried about Armageddon? No worries. We're no longer on that timeline. So to those of you who are Bible studiers, the death and desecration in the book of Revelations is no longer the future for us. Come on! By the way, did you think that the color black was a bad omen? Well, here's some good news. If we see black in a dream or a vision, it's not a bad omen. It's actually because it's the unknown. We can't see it because it's unknown. So that's interesting, huh? And what the heck is this business of 12 chairs in our dreams, right? What is this 12 chair thing? Well, let me tell you. This is all about the councils of 12. You may have heard 144 council members, which is 12 councils of 12. You may have also heard the number 144,000, which is how many of us came here to assist with this ascension many lifetimes ago. Will we have 1,000 sets of 12 councils of 12 to help govern the earth? That I'm not sure of. It might be a good question for one who serves. But I do know from one who serves this week that if you see 12 chairs in a vision or a dream, and you sit in one or intend to sit in it, that means you are one of the council members. Yes, you are. So roll up your sleeves. We're going to get to work here. And P.S., you may even be sitting in those chairs as we speak in your interdimensional form or your dreams. How about that? Now here's another good question for you. Are you mad at all these people causing all this chaotic news we see on the news, or seeming to cause it to come out? And some of it doesn't seem like it might be true. Well, don't be, because this insanity is a good thing. It's the collapse of the old system, or the old paradigm, so to speak. So stop being mad at the media and the cabal and the corrupt politicians, because the hologram is breaking apart. Come on, let the dancing in the streets begin. By the way, is there a ringing in your ear? Or more accurately, are you hearing high-pitched sounds? By all means, do not go to an allopathic doctor. This is part of the ascension process. It's the effect on the inner ear of raising our vibration. If you go to an allopathic doctor, he will definitely find something wrong with you. Allow this to take its course and it will clear up. This is what one who serves tells us. And of course, there is the CYA. I am not a doctor, so you should see your physician if this malady continues to occur. Do you know who you are? I mean, really? Do you know who you are as a hugely powerful child of the great Creator? Well, it's now time to accept that and let go of the old programming that says anything different than your amazingness. Then, as we go about our various tasks, we are advised to be mindful that all of this seeming chaos is all going to be worked out as we move to this whole new paradigm. You know, we may have feelings of being disconnected to our higher self. We may get a sort of dark night of the soul coming in. This is normal with the changes happening. Just be and be with it, and this too shall pass. And I know I must be completely crazy because I'm feeling great all the time myself. But of course, communing every day with other worldly beings and angels, right, and so forth, can tend to make you feel pretty good. So I'm feeling that right now. You never know what's coming down the pipe though, right? Guess what, brothers and sisters? Our mentors in the higher realms cannot hurry this process. They can't hurry it. Because why? The timing is all up to us, not them. If we want freedom or peace or a financial change or more disclosures, it's we who must create it. We must make it happen. We create it, first in our mind. We visualize it. We see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it. Hear it, feel it, touch it, happening. Then it happens. Now, if we get high enough in vibration, there's no need even for food and water. And the body can live on light alone. So we are actually the ones we have been waiting for. Are you living in serious lack and there's not enough food or water or necessities or what have you? In that case, it's even more important to raise your vibration and look from a different perspective. What can this teach me? What can I get from this? What is the goal in this experience? And the hunger or thirst can actually go away. If you see, for instance, if you see others that are struggling and this causes angst and lowers your vibration, then look to be in that neutrality place. Remember that we each have no idea if a person may need to experience what he or she is experiencing, or why that might be true. And also, if you're facing adversity, be patient, be in the moment, look with new eyes, find the joy in the small things. And regarding those affirmations you're doing, hopefully doing, affirmations are a good thing, remember the power of the word. Speaking out loud is very powerful. In the beginning was the Word, right? The Word was with God. The Word was God. And by the way, Shoshana, the higher self of Joanna, also came on board in this session to say that judgment of where we are now is actually a symptom of a lack of trust. It's really that. And we have to each trust and come to neutrality, acceptance, and joy for this all to go the way we want it to go. Arrests are happening behind the scenes, by the way, and more are going to start to happen. But we're cautioned not to be jumping in jubilation. That's not the light warrior way. Darn. As light workers and warriors, the thing to do is to send light and love, even to those arrested. Because if we judge them or rejoice in our brothers being taken down, and they are our brothers on some level, it will hinder the process we're all in. In point of fact, we are all eternal beings who have been and done everything. And sometimes we must have been nasty cusses in some of our lives. So considering that, we say, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. We knew not what we did at the time we may have done it. So things are happening behind the scenes, and there's not necessarily going to be that massive perp walk that we once thought would occur. But in the end, it doesn't matter how it happens, just that it actually does happen. So that's all we have for April 8th, my second birthday. And I do send you love, light, joy, fun, play, ease, and the experience of peace inside of neutrality. Have a beautiful, luscious, delicious day.